Welcome everyone to this graphics and performance video of Cyberpunk 2077. So this is my take on this game when it comes to the technicalities and what way you should play this game with a setup like I have pretty much. So I'm using an RTX 5090 Astral OC. So it's pretty much the top of the line what is possible today. And so what we're going to do is, now that we're in the settings menu, we have everything maxed out. Path tracing with DLA. Let's see what kind of performance we're getting. So the goal of this video is to get the best possible image with at least 60 FPS or above, and then activate frame generation so that we can get this super high FPS that we want to. Here we can now see that everything is very beautiful. Oh, this is such a beautiful game with DLA. Super sharp, it really is a super sharp game. The path tracing is amazing. The visuals are incredible. But we're getting only slightly above 30 FPS. Console quality at max settings 4K. So this is how you maybe want to watch a movie but not to play a game. Because, you know, it's interactive. It's not just about the visuals, it's how it responds to you. We can see that in the upper right corner we have a latency of over 70, which is still, I would say, pretty good considering. It is playable, but not enjoyable. We want to change this. Oh, just a little bump and already damaged. Alright, let's try not to die. We go back into the settings. And what happens, let's say if we use frame generation, we try to get the frames up and running. Okay, I have to restart the game. I see. Well, that's weird. That's really weird. Alright, I'll be right back, guys. Alright, guys, we are back. And we can now see that we have DLSS frame generation times 4, which means fake frames are on. Everything is, again, maxed out. DLA. So, what do we get?
Hello, I'm Arif Iqbal, and you're watching WS.
At least the load times are very smooth. Very fast. So we do get very high FPS. We're close to 120. 110, 120 is very, very good. The FPS, that is. The frames. But the input lag is around 70 to 80. It's pretty high. Now, let me say it like this. It's playable and the visuals are smooth, but the responsiveness is where there is. You can ask for more, let's say it like that. This is not how I would preferably play the game, but this is how as good as it's gonna look. This is pretty much maxed out. Path tracing, everything super sharp, super clean, but not super smooth in the responsiveness. We're maybe 2 generations away from that or so before we can get there. So what is it that we want? We want to reduce the latency to below like 50 or so that it's much more enjoyable in the gameplay and still retain as much visuals as we can. Let's see, perhaps we can even crank up the FPS as well. So what we're going to try to do is quality mode without frame generation, alright? We want to get the base frame up as high as possible. Now we are at roughly 60. And that is what you should get before you activate frame generation. Because now the latency is much better. We are below 50. That's great. It is much more playable like this, but the graphics aren't as smooth on my screen, but it's much more responsive. So that's a step forward. And this game with quality mode DLSS still looks fantastic. It's very, very good. So at this point, what if we activate DLSS times 2? Without the fake frames, just times 2. We're getting FPS over 100. Now it's smooth. And if you don't want to get any weird artifacts because of the AI, this is probably what you want to play as. This is really clean, really sharp, and smooth as well. Responsiveness is great. This is definitely an alternative of how I would play the game. Look at this responsiveness. It is very good. It's very good. So if we want to get high FPS, this monitor is 240 Hz. So let's try times 3. What do we get? We get 150 to around 150 FPS. It's smoother now, noticeably so, on my screen. And the input lag isn't bad. It's slightly increased to around 50, but I don't feel it that much. Slightly below 50. Yeah, it's increased a little bit, but still. But here's the thing with frame generation. Frame generation rewards the one who already has. So you already need to have at least a certain level of performance before you turn it on. Otherwise, you're gonna have bad latency. So if you have a poor GPU which can do frame generation, but you can't get it to 60 at all, maybe you're stuck at 30 because it's weak, you know, 4060 or something, then yeah, frame generation is not gonna be enjoyable, and you will want to have it turned off. You want to reach 60 first before, or higher. Higher the better, because the latency will improve. This is very enjoyable, let me tell you that. This is very good. I could definitely see myself playing like this. Let's see what we can get if we are using now times 4. We're now getting 200 FPS. The latency is still around the same. Maybe slightly higher, but the FPS is also even smoother than before. Yeah, this is quite incredible. This is very, very good. Let's turn right here. I could definitely see myself playing like this, but now, well, although still enjoyable, the input lag is a bit more noticeable. But man, it's smooth. So let's try to use balance settings instead. How would this feel if we just turned this down to balanced? Better. This is better. Slightly, and there's no, this is better. Feeling wise, I'm looking at the stats. 46. Yeah, this is balance mode with the RTX 5090, everything maxed out, pulse tracing, ray reconstruction, everything. And we're at 240 FPS with a good responsiveness at balance mode. And with DLSS 4, balance mode and even performance mode is better than DLSS 3 quality mode, but with better performance. In my opinion, DLSS 4 is actually a game changer, because it makes every setting usable. Before, ultra performance was unusable, it was just a smudgy mess. Now, however, as I recall it, let's try ultra performance without frame generation. Let's turn that. Ah, goodness me. There we go, ultra performance. What do we get? Oh no. Alright, we got some buggy mess here. I have no idea why this is. I'm gonna restart the game. This is very weird. This is very weird. Settings with DLSS. For some reason, Ultra performance is bugged out for me, so we're using performance mode to showcase this. It's still a very, very sharp image, and the FPS, the base FPS is much higher. We're above 90, which means that the responsiveness is also very, very good on this game. So this is very good responsiveness. So I could definitely play the game like this. I would perhaps want to have a higher FPS as such, but the input lag is fine. This is good. For some reason, when I'm using ultra performance, the graphics though bug out like this. This is very weird. Maybe you guys know what this is about. If you know, please give me a comment in the comment section below. I'm turning back into performance mode now, and it works perfectly fine. I don't know what that is about. I don't think there's anything wrong with the hardware or such. It must be some software glitch or something. No idea. Anyway, we keep playing here, and we can see that this is working very, very well. At this point, this is where you want to turn on frame generation. Right. So now, let's turn on the frame generation. Let's turn on ×2 frame generation. Where do we land? We can see that now we're at 150 FPS. A very high number. With a latency which is hovering around 40. Oh, ouch, watch out. Good reaction time. It's thanks to the fast latency. For a game like this, this is perfect. This is very, very good response times and the good visuals. The thing about performance mode, DLSS 4, is that it's better visually than DLSS 3 quality mode with better performance. So this is actually sharp. Of course, not quite as sharp as quality mode is at DLSS 4, but still, I could definitely play this game like this. This is not an issue. And the responsiveness is very smooth. I don't notice any input lag. Well, maybe if I was playing CS2, as maybe I said before. But this for a AAA game is very, very good. This is good. Definitely an option. But I would like to have a bit higher quality in the visuals. So let's try to use balanced modes. Let's try to let's also turn off frame generation. What do we get? We get around 70, slightly below 70. This is okay. This is nice. It's also sharper than performance mode. You can notice it, but performance mode is also good. So what if you now use DLSS frame generation ×2? Where do we get? Around 130 maybe? Yeah, and this is good. This is good as well. And the input lag is slightly above 40. So it has only increased slightly. And this is still very good. And it looks better than performance. You can definitely play the game like this. So again, with ×3. Now we are having a bit higher input lag. Still acceptable levels. But the FPS is, or should be, higher. But it's not. This time try ×4. And it's still the same. Is this some kind of settings that needs to be activated? This is weird. Because I activated it in the game before and it worked very well. I don't know what that is about. Is everything correct in the settings? Yeah, I think so. Transformer model, balanced, yeah. Ray reconstruction, very good. DLSS multi-frame generation. I don't know what that is about. Why does the multi-frame generation not work? You tell me. It worked before. Let's try to... Why does it go down? That's weird. Let's go to quality mode again. And we're hovering at around 60 FPS. This is okay. Slightly below even. And now let's try DLSS 4. Do we get what we want? No, it's stuck at ×2. Maybe I need to adjust something in the BIOS, but that's weird because I didn't need to do that before. I wonder what that is about. Well, maybe you know. In that case, leave me a comment in the comment section. But definitely much better now, much smoother than before. And because it's quality, this is yeah, definitely playable. Above playable. This is enjoyable as well. And with quality mode DLSS 4, it is very sharp. If you want pretty much the best visuals outside of DLAA, this is it. This is it, and it's smooth. But the input lag is below 50, which is acceptable. You'd probably get used to it. It's responsive enough, and the visuals are pretty much as good as... Oh, the car is gonna explode. That's not good. That's not good. I'm gonna die now. Boom. Let's go out of the game. Okay, welcome back everyone. So now we're using quality DLSS with ×4 frame generation. We're getting 200 FPS with a latency slightly above 50 to 55. This is acceptable, but noticeable. The FPS is around 200. This is pretty good. The monitor I'm using is 240 Hz. Maybe I said that before, but anyway, there you go again in that case. This is an acceptable experience. You can play the game like this. It's very sharp, it looks beautiful. However, the input lag, in my opinion, is slightly high. Slightly too high. I would like to lower it a little bit. So what we can do here, we have different options. Of course, we can lower the graphics to increase the base FPS. But you know what? Balanced mode with 3 times frame generation. Balanced mode looks better than quality mode in DLSS 3, as does performance mode. But it plays performance-wise roughly the same as quality mode in DLSS 3. So let's see where we land. We should get better. Yeah, we're at around 45 mark. This is better now. And balanced mode doesn't look bad. It's sharp. It's very good. Most people will not notice the difference. I have a hard time doing it. You would have to put things side by side, or like have to go back and forth and like look optically. When I'm playing the game, I would not notice the visual difference very much. Maybe a little bit. But what I do notice is the decrease in input lag. That makes a real difference, because it's a game and it's interactive again. So you have to have certain level of desired, or acceptable at least, performance and input lag, and go with that with the hardware budget that you have. Now the RTX 5090 Astral OC is pretty much as powerful as it gets right now, and it will be for the next few years. So I would say that this is roughly how I would play this game. ×3 fake frames, because it will get less ghosting and stuff than ×4, and less input lag. But what if we increase this now to ×4? Will I complain? No, this is good, and it's smoother on the monitor as well. We are getting 45. It's roughly the same, maybe very slightly. So this is also very good. This is also very good, guys. Definitely, I could play this like this, no issues. No issues. Now let's try performance mode with ×3. See, it's still sharp. The image is still good, and now we're pretty much getting 240 Hz at 37, 35 millisecond. Okay, now I just died. We're gonna... No. I just hit that wall slightly and I died. Funny. But before in DLSS 3, this would not have been desirable. Guys, we're getting so much better than we used to. Nvidia, in my opinion, has done excellently well with DLSS. DLSS, in my opinion, at least as it stands right now, reigns supreme. It is very much an argument to why you pay more for less performance in compared to the competition. Now, AMD might actually be coming with some very good FSR4 performance in the future and more games, but that's a topic for another day. Right now, as it stands, at least definitely in this game, it reigns supreme. This is very, very good. So, performance, DLSS 3, how about that ×2? Well, the fake frames are gone, and we still have very high FPS, 136. This is also very good. This is good. Ouch, 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 ouch. Now I have the cops after me or something.
Reporting suspicious activity in Haywood. Roger that.
You would not complain playing the game with like this, let me tell you.
My neighborhood.
This is good. But optimally something like this, I
I'll take
think.
you for tacos sometime.
Balanced and ×3. Yeah, so it's all about the input lag, what is acceptable to you, and what is an acceptable graphic setting based on the amount of hardware budget that you have. This is good as well. This is probably how I would play this game. You tell me how you would play this game. Maybe you can tell me in the comments about your setup, what kind of hardware you have, and what kind of settings you would prefer with your given hardware. So, if you have anything else to say, please do that in the comments. Otherwise, like, share and subscribe, as they say. And I will see you guys in the next video. Cheers.